Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to start off by giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS, better known as Great Millstone, who rule well. And peace and salutations unto the hopeful elect, that be like the speckled bird scattered across the four corners of the earth. That be like the speckled bird once again. And this is going to be a quick video going into a trailer by Disney, one of the movies that they're bringing out on the 15th of July entitled Zombies 3. And what you're about to see in this video is a witness to Esau Edom knowing and understanding not only that, you know, his rulership has come to an end, but he knows how the Lord is going to return with the heavenly hosts that the world ignorantly calls UFOs or UAPs. We know them through the Bible, okay, as chariots. All right, so I'm not going to play the video, obviously, you know, due to copyright. So what I'm going to do is just give you guys still shots of the trailer and showcasing you of, you know, they truly understand biblical prophecy in the scriptures. All right. So here in the first 26 seconds of the trailer, right, as you can see here, there's the first still shot, okay, of what looks to be what people would ignorantly call a UFO, but we know that to be a chariot. And as you can see, it has the lights, okay, as, you know, the prophet Ezekiel, you know, describe upon a wheel inside of a wheel. All right. And as you get further, they make their appearance on the earth. Now, going back, just to give you guys a little bit of a backstory, because I don't really know the actual movie too well. My daughters, they're very familiar with it. They've seen all parts 1 and part 2 of the actual zombie series. But basically, you have the zombies, and then you have the let me see, the werewolves. Okay, well, I call them werewolves. They could be called something different, so please bear with me as we get through this. But nevertheless, all right, they all have control, all right, of the planet Earth. Okay, and as you see here, until they have a threat, and through many, you know, different videos and lessons as we've done, okay, especially this year with the with Congress and the CIA and the Pentagon coming out with press release of UFOs, so-called UFO sightings or whatever. It's all just been amped up. So in this still shot, okay, you see the zombies, all right, and you see, you know, the regular civilians in the background. They're running crazy because who appears out of the sky, out of nowhere, all right? A massive chariot, okay? And is this chariot coming back to, you know, love the world as so-called Christianity tells you? All right, he's going to save everyone. All right, what's the first thing within this still shot that they show? Let's see if I can take it back. A huge lightning bolt coming out of the chariot, okay, striking the place, hits the street pole, okay? Pole falls onto the bus. People are running, scared. All right, let's see if I can get another still shot. And then this is the next still shot. The chariot strikes this car, police unit car, this Jeep. Okay. And there's another still shot showing you that they are destroying. Okay, they are bringing destruction on the planet Earth, right? And as we go further into the trailer, the chariots, they start to move. Okay, there's a second chariot, but these vehicles, they start to move within the inner city. All right, and as they're destroying, okay, the different parts of the city, you know, destroying the villains. At the same time, they're beaming up the elect. Okay, as prophesied in the scriptures, you see as the mouth of the chariot is starting to open up. And as you get closer in the still shot, as we pick up some frames here, it shines this beam down. All right, because this beam is beaming up people. And in this case, it's actually destroying something. But let's fast forward, because Now, what you see here, they represent the elect. Okay, they represent the heavenly hosts. They came down off the chariot, and as they came down off the chariot, they gathered those that are a part of the elect, and the people who they've gathered started to have spiritual powers. All right, and you'll see that as we go on. Here's the next still shot. You see the chariots in the background, and you see these are the elect. Okay, as I like to call them, but in the actual movie themselves, they are known as aliens. All right. And Esau Edom, okay, upon in reality has played that same mind trick, has given that same veil across the masses of the people. All right. Telling us that, that we have visitors from outside of our world, and that if we all come together, all right, we can, pretty much keep them out or whatever the case may be. And I believe that was said on by, roughly paraphrasing, former President Ronald Reagan when he addressed his speech. OK, but as you can see here, you have the main chariot there, and you have two other chariots on either side. OK, once again, a wheel inside of a wheel, which was prophesied in Ezekiel, the 1st chapter, which we're going to grab. All right. And it's pretty much pandemonium. OK, now going forward. Matter of fact, before we go, let's grab that in Ezekiel. All right. What do I want? Ezekiel chapter 1, verse 16. And it says, the appearance of the wheels and their work was like unto the color of beryl. And they four had one likeness. And their appearance and their work, meaning their construction, was as it were a wheel in the middle of a wheel. Okay, so if I go back to that still frame shot. Okay, a wheel inside of a wheel, right? Showing you that they know biblical prophecy. Okay, verse 17, it says, when they went upon their four sides, and they turned not when they went. As for their rings, they were so high that they were dreadful. Okay, and their wings were full of eyes round about them four. Okay, and the best still shot to represent that is right here. Their rings, which represents their eyes. And they were dreadful to look upon, because what happened? Okay, when they appeared, when you go back to this still shot, you saw how everybody was scrambling when they looked up. Okay, because when these vehicles, the heavenly hosts, when they appeared out of nowhere, okay, as the scripture says, who maketh his beams, who layeth the beam. Matter of fact, let's just go ahead and grab that. I don't want to butcher it. This is Psalms chapter 104, verse 3. It says, who layeth the beams of his chambers and the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot, who walketh upon the wings of the wind. You see that? The chariots, they ended up manifesting themselves within the clouds. OK, and they were dreadful to look upon. All right, let's go back to Ezekiel and read it again. Verse 18, Ezekiel chapter 1, verse 18. As for their rings, they were so high that they were dreadful, and their rings were full of eyes round about them four. OK, and this is what it's talking about. Round about them four, full of eyes, the rings. OK. So Zechariah chapter 5, okay, because Zechariah even prophesied about these vehicles being accursed upon the planet Earth. Let's read it. Zechariah chapter 5, verse 1. It says, then I turned and looked at Salakia. Let's read that again. It says, then I turned and lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, what seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof is 10 cubits. Then said he unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. Okay, because really, all right, these vehicles are the heavenly host, the angels. Okay, and it also tells you that that same vehicle was the same vehicle that Yahweh Shai in the book of Acts, the 1st chapter, was taken up. Okay, and see, this is a curse unto everyone else, mainly our adversaries, our enemies, but it's not a curse unto us. OK, as the book of Elisha talked about when Elisha prayed that the eyes of that man could be opened up. Okay, when he was freaking out going into battle, and when the Most High Yahweh opened up his eyes, he saw the heavenly hosts. He saw all the chariots. Right. Let's read it again. Zechariah 5:3. It says, "Then said he unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side, according to it. And everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side, according to it." Verse 4, "And I will bring it forth," meaning these vehicles, okay, the angels, said Yahweh of hosts, "and it shall enter into the house of the thief." Okay, because who's the house of the thief? Okay, mainly Babylon the Great, which is America. Okay, and the scriptures tells you that Esau, Edom, has not opened up the house of his prisoners, right? It says, "And into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name, and it shall remain in the midst of his house, and it shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof." Now, if we just look up, right? Let's see here. Let's go to the first. No, that's not one. There's a site that you can go on. Let's see here. Roswell, some more Esau's BS, because these vehicles, all right, they can never crash, man. All right, their technology is out of this world, right? But there's a website, I forget what it is. There's a website that you can go on to, and this particular website actually shows you. Let's see if this right here. This website actually shows you the amount of chariots that have been reported around the whole globe, and the number one country with the most sightings is America. Why is that? Because the bulk of the tribes are in America. Okay, and that's going to be the great exodus. That's not telling me nothing. Let me see here. Maybe we can get this here. Just want to show you guys something real quick. All right. And there you have it. These are all the hot spots. You see that? All right. There you go. These are all the hot spots. You see that? Hot spot. Look at America. All the hot spot UFO sightings map. Okay. You got a few in Alaska, but mainly, why do you see the United States lit up? Because this is the house of the thief. Okay. America is the revival of the ancient Roman Empire. Okay. Babylon the Great. Okay. This is where the last Exodus is going to happen at. This is why this place has to be destroyed. Okay. And this is why the prophecy says in Zechariah, the 13th chapter, 2 parts therein shall be cut off, meaning 2/3 of our people, but the 1/3 shall be saved and delivered. Okay. Now, that doesn't mean that the 1/3 is just in the U.S. No, because even in Isaiah, the 11th chapter, it tells you that, Yahweh through his son, Yahweh Shai, okay, which is that right hand. Yahweh Shai represents the right hand. Okay. He's going to deliver the elect from the four corners of the earth. Okay. But it's just that the bulk of the tribes are in the U.S., but you're going to have vast amount of our people. Okay. That be like the speckled bird. Okay. The Israelite foreigners. All right. They're going to be beamed up from all different parts of the world. That's why it tells you in Matthew, the 24th chapter, that Yahweh Shai is going to send his angels with the shout of a trumpet, and they should gather together his elect from the four winds, meaning the four corners of the earth. Okay. But, yeah, man, this is crazy. Look at that. Absolutely crazy. The most sightings. Okay. And just to get back to the point, Zechariah, okay, verse 4 again, It says, I will bring it forth, meaning the chariots, said the Lord of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief, and into the house of him that swear falsely by my name, and it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof. Why? Because they're going to destroy Babylon the Great. Okay. These chariots are going to obliterate this place, as well as the ICBM missiles that's going to take Babylon the Great down, man. All right. That's why it says that it's going to take 1 hour, okay, to destroy this place. That's in the book of Revelations, right? But nevertheless, all right, so we got that out the way. All right. Because Esau knows how the Son of Man, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, is coming back. All right. This is Mark chapter 13, verse 26. And it reads, and then shall they see the Son of Man coming in the clouds. You see that? Which we read in Psalms 104. OK, the clouds represents the chariots with great power and glory. All right. Because remember, let's grab Isaiah the 47th chapter. OK, it says that when Yahushua returns, he's not going to meet thee as a man. Right. Let's see here. Isaiah chapter 47 and verse 3, it says, thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. You see that? Because when Yahushua comes back, remember the angels told the disciples, let's grab that, Acts, the 1st chapter. The ascension, right? Acts chapter 1, verse 9. And when he had spoken these things while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him. That same cloud is talking about the chariot. OK. It says, and a cloud received him out of their sight. And while they looked steadfastly toward heaven, as he went up, behold, 2 men stood by them in white apparel, which also said, ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? This same Yahushua, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven. That's why, going back to Isaiah the 47th chapter, let's read it again, verse 3. It says, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. He's coming back in his full glory on a cloud, the chariots. You see that? So, so continue on in the lesson, and the Lord's will, this is edifying, and this is a faith booster. All right. To the hopeful elect. There's a scene within this video. Now, right here, okay, Esau, okay, within this film calls them aliens, but they are the elect. They're the angels. Now, this next shot right here, this is where they start to beam not only the elect, but at the same time, they are destroying the actual villains. Now, just trying to see if I can find that still shot right here. Now, you see how they're positioned at the back. Now, the zombie starts to run towards, but then this particular elect individual right here uses his spiritual powers. OK, which is also biblical prophecy. Here it is again. OK, he puts up here's a werewolf charging. OK, but one of the elect, they put up a barrier showcasing spiritual power. Now, remember, OK, 1 Corinthians chapter 15. What did the Apostle Paul say? Verse 51. It says, behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. OK, so not all of us are going to, have to die on this side. Right. It says, verse 52, in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. Okay? Because right now we're in these incorruptible bodies. We're in the flesh. Okay? We're in the chains of darkness. Okay? But remember, the scriptures talks about Salakia. Let me grab this in a different tab. The scriptures talks about, all right, that man was created to be immortal. All right, that's Wisdom of Solomon, the 2nd chapter. Verse 23, it says, for the Most High created man to be immortal. It made him to be an image of his own eternity. All right, so we're going to go back to immortality, right? Let's go back to 1 Corinthians. All right, this is 1 Corinthians chapter 15. I'll read verse 52 again. It says, in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. For this corruptible must put on incorruption, okay, immortality, and this mortal, okay, must put on immortality. So we're going to be changed. We're going to have these spiritual powers, okay? We're going to go from being in these incorruptible bodies, which is the flesh, to Salakia. We're going to go from being in these corruptible bodies, which is the flesh, and we're going to put on the incorruptible, which is immortality. Okay. It goes on to say, so when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. Why? Because we're never going to die again. We're going to live eternity. Okay, we're going to be as the gods, Alahayim, right? Let's grab another precept. This is 1 John chapter 3, verse 2. Okay, listen up. It says, beloved, now are we the sons of God, Yashar Allah. Okay, he is the Prince of Power. All right, and it do not yet appear what we shall be, but we know that when he shall appear, meaning Yahweh Shai, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is. And remember, we read in Isaiah the 47th chapter, he's not going to meet thee as a man. So if he's going to come back in his full glory, okay, how much more shall we be if we are the sons of God, right? And we are heirs to the promise. That means we're going to be just like him in our full glory, right? This is why it says, okay, let's get, matter of fact, let's get Zechariah chapter 12 and verse 8. It says, in that day shall the Lord Yahweh defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David. Because when you go back and read the account of what King David did, all right, even King David, okay, had the ability to take down all of his adversaries with a mighty hand. Yahweh was with him. He preserved him wherever he went. Okay. And it says here, and the house of David, starting, okay, read about the tabernacles of David. I did a video on that not too long ago. All right. It says, and the house of David shall be as God. You see that? Starting with the elect. Okay. We're going to be as gods, Alahayim, as the angel of the Lord before them. Okay. Now, when you get Psalms, the 82nd chapter, what does it say? Psalms 82 and 6, it says, I have said ye are gods, Alahayim, and all of you are the children of the Most High. So we're going to go back to our first estate from which we fell, going all the way back to Adam. You see that? There's no way around it. See, Esau knows this, man. That's why he put it in these movies. Okay, he put it in a children's movie. Okay. Spiritual powers is coming. All right. And this is a still shot of the chariot. Salakia, let me go back. Here's a still shot of the chariot. All right. Turning this individual pretty much vanishing and into dust and the powder. Now, when you get the scriptures, all right, it tells you when Yahweh Shai comes back. Let's go back to that still shot when the chariot casted lightning. Because this is what's coming, man. They see, you know, y'all been laughing and scoffing. You think it's funny, right? Showing you that Esau knows the scriptures because he's putting biblical prophecy within the actual movies in these movies, right? Now watch this. This is 2nd Esdras chapter 13. And I'll just start at the top. It says, and it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the ways thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. Okay. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. Now, what does it mean? Who's that man that waxed thousands with the heaven? It's talking about Yahweh Shai. Okay. Because when let's grab a precept. I believe it's Psalm 70. Salakia. Let's see if I can find that precept for y'all. Salakia, here we go. Psalm 68 and 17. All right. It says, the chariots of the Most High are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them as in Sinai in thy holy place. You see that? Also, Revelations 5 and 11. And I beheld, and I heard the voice of many angels round about the throne and the beast and the elders. And the number of them was 10,000 times 10,000 and thousands of thousands. You see that? That's why when you read, let's grab 2 Kings, the 6th chapter, I believe. Right? Start at verse 15. And it reads, and when the servant of the man of the Most High was risen early and gone forth, behold, a host compassed the city, both with horses and chariots. And his servant said unto him, at last, my master, how shall we do? Meaning, what shall we do? And he answered, fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them. Verse 17, here's the point. And Elisha prayed and said, Yahweh, I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see. And the Lord Yahweh opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha. That's talking about the chariots, which, people ignorantly call UFOs or UAPs. Okay. It says, and when they came down to him, Elisha prayed unto the Lord Yahweh and said, smite this people, I pray thee, with blindness. And he smote them with blindness according to the word of Elisha. Okay. So when the young man's eyes was open, he saw the chariots. That's why Elisha told him to fear not, because there be more of them. Okay, there's Salakia. There'll be more of they that are with us than are with them. Meaning we have more of an army in the heavens versus what Esau, Edom, okay, and the rest of these heathen nations and their armies here on the planet Earth. You see that? So going back, 2nd Esdras chapter 13. Verse 3 again, it says, and I beheld, and lo, that man, meaning Yahweh Shai, waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. Right? Going back to this still shot right here. When the chariots manifested themselves, what did everybody do? They ran. They trembled with fear. Okay? Let's go back. Okay, it says verse 4, and whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it filleth the fire. Okay, and when it talks about his voice, okay, it's talking about the mouth of the chariot. Okay, when he opened up his voice, okay, the beams, or in this case, in this movie, lightning strike struck. Okay, it started destroying stuff. Okay. Same thing that's going to happen when Yahweh Shai and the heavenly hosts come back. It says, and after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of heaven, meaning those armies, Okay. The great battle, when you go back to Joel, the 3rd chapter. Okay. To subdue the man that came out of the sea. But I beheld, and lo, he had graven himself a great mountain, meaning the chariot, and flew up upon it. Pardon me. Verse 7. But I will have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. Meaning what? Because when Ezra tried to make sense and to try to see, it was so big that he couldn't see past the region. That's how big the chariot was. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. Right, because the Heavenly Father is going to put it within their minds to fight. Now, here in Revelations chapter 1, verse 7, it says, behold, he cometh with clouds. It's talking about Yahushua. And every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him. Okay. And all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him, even so, Amen. Right. And it goes back to 2nd Esdras. All right. It says, and after this I beheld, and lo, verse 8, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire. Okay. Blast of fire. You can't make this up, man. Right. And out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and a great tempest, because when the chariots arrive on the scene, they're going to be beaming up the elect, but at the same time destroying Babylon the Great before those missiles hit. Okay. Or I should say during the same time those missiles are about to hit. All right. Salakia, please forgive me. Okay. This is 2nd Esdras chapter 16. OK, because as this, let's go back to that still shot where the girl was she was zapped away right here. So the chariot ended up beating her to powder. She was zapped away. Right. And this is what's going to happen. Biblical prophecy. This is 2nd Esdras chapter 16, starting at verse 10. It says, and he shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear? Remember, we saw the chariot casting that lightning. He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? The Lord shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence, man. Okay. And this is coming on this is just coming on a whole nother level, man. This world is not ready to see the presence of the Lord, Yahushua HaMashiach, and the heavenly host. They're not ready, man. Salakia. Hopefully they don't take the video down for me playing that little clip. But yeah, man, as you can see, all right, watch this clip. It's called Zombies 3. All right. And they're going to be airing it on Disney Plus, showing you that the Edomites, they know that their time is up, and they know biblical prophecy. They know how the chariots are going to manifest and how they're going to come back. All right. So with that, I like to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, Yahweh Ratazah, Lord will. This video was edifying. All right. Until the next time. Shalom.